Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on, hopefully, the end. Hello phone. We're going to be working on the end of Endless Adventures. So I took out the random sector creation rules. I didn't feel like it was really appropriate. It's like kind of my rule of thumb is going to be make whatever the hell you want, because it's hard to put in things like I want to adventure on Arugia. Cool, Rugia is kind of there. And since everything's kind of in flux when it comes to actually who owns what, I don't want to be like, well, this planet now belongs to this person, or oh, this person belongs to this. It's this weird nebulous place in between things. Everyone owns something, but nothing at the same time. Very odd. But we're going to be working on piloting and driving, otherwise known as we're going to get some vehicles in. We're going to put in the companions in large-scale combat situations, as well as some notes on cybernetics and augmentations. I'm just going to put those in there for the sake of putting them in. So what are we going to be doing first? Let's see. Probably companions. So what I need to do there... I had something for dinner right now, and my gut is not appreciating it. Had some pork loin, but I left it in the fridge about a day too long. It was like, should be okay, but I don't know. Where am I looking for here? Da, 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 da. Ah, here we go. All right, followers. I'm pretty much just going to copy paste this, except taking out some of the parts that don't need to be in it. Really. Welcome to game design, everyone. So let's see. As Herald at the end time, servitors of the Dark Lord, icons of chaos. Opinions and followers. As heroes of their people. As heroes. So the characters as heroes of their people. As heroes of their people. Will attract followers. And companions to aid them in their missions across the cosmos. Oof. Followers and companions aid them in their mission across the cosmos. These individuals join due to the hero's magnetic draw and possible dust. How do I want to word this? Dust integration? Yeah. Listening to their orders and following with minimal hesitation. Each hero has a total of 3 followers. Actually, I won't be using companions, yeah. Each hero has a total of 3 companions. However, different species. Different species. Let's see. Different species can change the number. Companions available, or the value of each of the companions. A follower contribute their species die to any of the checks the hero makes and has them around for. And some companions. Or specialized experts. Contributing an extra dice to their niche, or allowing the hero to perform various actions they otherwise wouldn't be able to. Anytime during combat, a hero can contribute, can a companion can valiantly defend the hero from an attack, taking the damage themselves. If a companion were to be reduced to 0 endurance based off of their species size, then they may tragically die. Attacks covering large areas. May also affect companions. Let's see, 3 companions. Where do I want to put this? That's the question. We can probably put it after health and well-being. Put it like right here and put that as 2. Be able to based on their species size. Okay, companions work. It's not flawless. You can probably go back afterwards and double check everything there, but that's all that was really going to be at the end of the day. Now vehicles. Vehicles. Where are vehicles going to go? Probably going to get their own section at the end. So what I'm going to call this? You actually want to shrink down a smidge. No, didn't mean to do that, but here we are. Da-da. Let's see. Small rules for a large galaxy. It is fundamentally impossible for me to cover every single kind of situation that the heroes may find themselves in. So the following following side rules are for fun. Are for fun. Allowing any of those odd moments a little bit more meat to them. Alright, now we're going to be working with vehicles. Vehicles. So, one thing to note about vehicles. Now, this is where things get a little bit complicated. Well, because... Where are you? Endless Adventures. This is one of those parts of the Endless Universe that's kind of hard to do, mostly because we never see vehicles. We never hear about them, we never see them, but we can always assume that they exist. Now, we see spaceships, but we see Imperial military ships. We don't really see... Well, we sort of see cargo ships, but not really cargo ships. And then it's just like, oh, well, here's the war. And then it's like, oh, what the fuck? Why do you have Gundams? Like, yeah, because Gundams are in. Because if we go to, like, even if you were to Google, let's say, like, endless space vehicles, it's not a... You get this. You get a lot of ships, you get things like that, but... Where is it? They exist because if we Google... Boyani Endless Space 2 Heroes, we see, where is she? One of their heroes is actually on like a hover bike or something. So it's like, alright, so there are hover bikes, there are like definitively like traveling things in this world. I mean, we're not exactly, you know, we haven't reached teleport tech yet, except if you're the Vultures, I guess, but the Vultures are Amplitude's fucking waifus. So, what I'm saying is, we're gonna have to make our own. And how we're gonna do vehicles? Well, we're gonna do vehicles by clicking all the wrong buttons in my life. Please, no Steam, I don't want to see you anymore. Goodbye. Okay. How do I want to do this? Vehicles. Okay, actually, what we'll say is mounts. Mounts and vehicles. Transportation is one of the largest factors. Civilization in general. From the backs of animals to the stars, to zipping among the stars. It is what separates, let's see, the civilized from, actually it separates the advanced from the unadvanced. And when the heroes themselves mounted on a vehicle, certain small rules come into play. And actually, give me 1 second. Where is my... No, don't want you. Please stop. I'm going to be overhauling all my vehicle rules, actually, this next project. So if things go according to plan, I should be good. Alright, cool. Small. So first off, we get maneuvers. Simple. Swerve, take off, rotate, hover, or simple maneuvers. Actually, simple swerve, control, rotate, hover, or moving. The target number, we want to make that simple too. We made difficult. Control skid, barrel rolls, emergency stops, or dives. TN3, very difficult. Bootlegger turns. Pugashev's Cobra. Or let's see, difficult. Difficult horse riding tricks. The hell's raining? Only in America you'd have these. So you would probably do like something like trick riding. Trick riding, TN4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bump all of these up by 1. Unless I want to do 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. It's actually... Pugashev's Cobra is insane. It's like you have to fucking flip a plane upside down at the same time. It's... This is what a let me see. Like, this is what a Pugashev's Cobra is. Like, you gotta, like, you have to flip yourself around using this momentum. You fuck up, like, one thing, your entire, like, plane explodes. Yeah, here's actually a better one right here. Like, you fuck up once, and, like, your plane will explode, and you will be dead. Like, it is not a simple thing to do. And then we'll do vehicle modifiers. -1. Under fires, that's going to give you... So we want to do under fire is going to TM+1. Actually, if we do that, what we can do is actually decrease all of these again. Because the idea is you're going to be able to augment them all. Be like, I'm under fire. It's now target number 4. I'm actually on damage. Damaged vehicle, TN+1. 2 for every 2 hull damage. For every 2 hull damage. Over capacity is just going to be a flat TM+3. TM+2. Actually, we'll do over speed limit. -1. Actually, it'd be +1 TN. TN +1 every speed over. Speed increase. Increasing speed plus TN +1 speed per speed increase. Okay. You here. If a driver fails a maneuver, they suffer control loss. They reroll the same difficulty. If they fail a second time, they crash or damage the vehicle. Go removing one hull from the vehicle and stopping it immediately. Stopping it immediately. Last cutting speed in half. You're flying. I don't want to be like, you messed up a maneuver. You're now dead. No, that's like you've damaged something, and now you're by their hull rating, which is set number of explosives or anti-tank shots needed to. Metallic vehicles are determined by their hull rating, which is the number of vehicles or anti-tank shots needed to take them down fully as their hull. Mortal mounts have a set of endurance. This acts the same, which acts as actually to be set of blood, which acts as their health, and similar to heroes. If it reaches 0, the rider is thrown. The riders are thrown from the mount. As it dies. Okay. We are not going to do everything 1-to-1. Why are we not doing everything 1-to-1? Because that is going to be that is going to kill me. And that doesn't sound very fun. So I'm not going to do it. Pretty simple. Control-Shift-8. Maneuvers, that would be 3. Actually, probably don't even need to. Normal text. XO 14. There we go. Shift 8. Add on sort of paragraph A to Z. Perfect. That's what I like to see. Right. So speed during a chase. No. No. Stop that. There you go. Boom. All right. So, let's see. Oh, God. Alright, what vehicles do we need? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have basic civilian cars. So, what are we going to do here? For just want some basic civilian vehicles. So I just want a full-size civilian car. Like, this is just a basic fueled vehicle. And if we want... Yeah, let's do basic cars first. Let's see, sports car. We'll do some basic, just cars. And we'll do 2 converted vehicles. We will do... Do I not have hulls? Actually, I don't need that. I need a converted van. Huh. Let's see. So, converted truck 5. Okay, there we go. Converted vehicles. All you can really do. Light war machines. So, let's play the game of what we need. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Or that. Actually, what we can probably just do is called war machines. Infantry fighting vehicle and IFV. All 6, by the way. Do we need anything here? Absolutely not. This is really all the war machines you need. You don't need anything else. You really don't. And if you think you do, you don't. Stop that. You don't need any more. At least this is just going to be this is a sampling. Like, you need all of these being like, yeah, these are what like vehicles you can have. This is what they do. So actually, let's do some cruisers, some dirt bikes. Oh yeah, this is where we had the battle scooters, because this all came from this is Hearts of Darkness, where I actually wrote this initial system, and I've just been kind of using these vehicles for a while now, just because it's there. And don't break what isn't. Don't fuck with what isn't broken. So, converted vehicles. Actually, I don't need converted vehicles. Let's be honest with ourselves here. We don't need converted vehicles. And that means we don't need conversion. So actually what we can do is aircraft. Aircraft. Keep forgetting the hull. Don't need you. Don't really need you. Private single engine works. Actually, we could probably get rid of you three. Just use you three, and then we have fighters. Because we all like fighter jets who go ver. Take that column. I don't need it. Okay. What I can add here is fighter design for daring here, and cavaliers of the sky. Call this aircraft right now. Van cruiser, dirt bike, sports bikes, armored cars, armed recon. Civilian ground. So what we can do is we can call this a exploration. Exploration. Condensed. How do I want to do this? We want to do like a recon vehicle that you would be able to slap down for survey teams and stuff. Kind of like a much very armored, very heavy. Actually we can call that a survey boat. Handling bonus, yeah, -6 sounds about right. Speed 2, none. Carrying capacity 12. Hull 5. Actually, armored survey vehicle, ASVs. What was the what was the Mako called? Mako Mass Effects. I think I remember the Mako had some like really silly acronym to it. No. So yeah, we got that. We got some. Oh, we should put TLs in, shouldn't we? Yeah. TL. Actually, tech level. So, roughly speaking, this would be industrial era. Would be that information, industrial information. That'd be interstellar. And then that would be 666. Nothing would be unless we put in like a nah. And then we have the armored cars and such, which would be 6, 6, 6, yeah. All those would be actually... This would be industrial recon vehicle. Nah. An armored car. So civilian aircraft. Okay. So what we need to do is we have all of these. Now we're going to put in the mounts. And what that's going to be like is if we go right here. Actually, we really don't need to worry about his handling bonuses, do we? No, we don't. Ha! They can't touch us. They can't touch us. Go away. Yeah, we don't really need to worry about the handling bonus for things. Means we can move all of you over. I will do... God, how do I want to do this? So we want to do something like a really civilian light mount. We'll do, and we will alternate between them. So it'd be civilian medium. And civilian heavy mount. Hello, phone. How are you? Okay. So if we go here, so how do we describe a light mount? Okay, a light beast burden. Must employed by civilians for traveling or work. It would be a light beast that has been trained for war, unable to waver in the most dire circumstances. So a light beast of burden, if we go under the idea that this is so average rideable horse. 14, 16 hands, so we're looking at 56 to 64 inches. And about 840 to 1,200 pounds. So we're looking at about, because this is a light riding horse. See, and then you got race horses, and those fucking race horses are weird. because they have how they operate, and they're usually larger. They're usually smaller, I mean. Okay, Wikipedia doesn't feel like working. Cool. Wikipedia is dead. So if we're looking at that to be a light race horse, we could probably go under... Okay. Yeah, we do 500 to 8 pounds, and then if you convert pounds to kg, that'd be to 500. So 227 k, 227 to 800 pounds. 363 kgs, which doesn't seem like a lot. Like, oh wow, that seems still pretty heavy, but it's like this is an animal who's designed to carry a human being for long periods of time. Like, that's pretty fucking small. Which also bring, on average, they are around 600 to 900 pounds. 272. Like, this is like warhorse size. Like, this would be your warhorse, which a warhorse is very big. Like, how much? Like, warhorse size. Yeah, no, like they'd be pretty big, like 56. Yeah, so actually this would be about a warhorse size. So this is warhorse size. Actually 150 centimeters. 4'9". Big fucking horse. Yeah. We'll continue with the weight. That's kind of like the best we can do. Because if we make this to be like, this is like an average, so it would be size beast of bird. So if we go about 900 to LBs, so it'd be 900 would be 408. kg to 408 to 1200. 500. 544 kgs. That's 1400. 454 to 14, not for 1400, 635. And then we have a large. back on average, they are around, it would be, let's see, 900 to 12, so it would probably be something around 1300 to, we will make it 1700 pounds. $590 to 1700. 1700771. Bread has been bred for war. On the front lines. We do 1,500 to 2,100 pounds. Like, these things are fucking massive. Like, holy shit, this thing is big. 680 to, like, these things were way over a ton. kgs. All right, cool. We've got all of that. So now we need to just copy. So these are probably going to be fairly fast, so we want to do speed. We're looking at 3s and 4s here, so we're looking at two. Actually, we want to make you 3, 2, 1. You are slow. 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 3. Yeah, actually, we'll do 1, 2, 3. Operator capacity 1, 2, 3 comfortably. So it'd be 1, 2, 3 comfortably. Endurance. Now these guys are probably going to have about 15 endurance. When we're going to probably do 15 times, then times it by. We make it actually. So let's say a small horse. Effectively, we want to do probably maybe about. Let's do 75 endurance, and then we can do 150, and then we can do something like maybe we can double it. Actually, no. 50, 100, 200, and then we can do 250, 100. Actually, 75. 125. 50 increase, 150. And then they add 250. Okay. With the idea being like these are hard to kill. However, oh god, people are. Oh, Jesus. The main idea would be, well, if you position the idea that in the way back, cavalry was effectively the heavy armor of the world. However, it is also a risk because if you run headfirst into a spear wall with a bunch of horses, your horses aren't going to make it very far. You're going to get yeeted from them because you're going so fucking fast. That's kind of a DM thing to actually consider with it. If we're going under the idea of, like, heavy mounts are like riding an elephant. If you take that as the idea, like you are riding an elephant around. Like elephants aren't going to be really stopped by a spear wall and things. You gotta spook them, and that causes the issue. And they're kind of awkward to move around. You want to fight someone on if you want to fight cavalry, you got to understand you're fighting cavalry. That's why the square formation. That's why the square formation back in the Napoleonic era became such a large asset, because cavalry couldn't charge in from the side anymore because you were facing all the way. Pop, 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 and everyone starts falling. That also doubles down when it comes to things like anti-tank weapons, because an anti-tank weapon is going to do 100 damage. Like it's going to kill. It's going to kill it. Where a smart person with a gun. So let's actually. I need to check something. Give me gun. So yeah, 5d6 damage with that. So let's wait, no, that's not what I want. Dice roller. Roll 5. Roll dice. So let's see, 11, Jesus, 10, 16, 26 damage, and that's from a single shot of a basic rifle. That's a bolt action rifle shooting once, and that's an unupgraded rifle getting shot once. So if you even pop up the submachine gun, you can potentially shoot like three times and do a decent chunk of damage. And of course, there's also going to be the narrative clause, which is like, yeah, just do that. Well, let's see. Do I want to reduce it down a little bit? Yeah, I could probably reduce it down. Fuck it. That would make 50. That would make 100. Actually, if we do increase it by that, and then we do something like that, 50, and then this would be 100. Yeah. You obviously don't have any armaments. And this would be TL. TL1. However, I'm going to do that for civilians. For a majority of these guys, I'm actually going to put this at TL2. With the idea being, like, we really adopted the fact of, you know, Mr. Klopp's the horse is now going to be used. We're going to strap an armor to him and stab someone to death with it. That's when that's when his job changed somewhat. It used to be like, I want to befriend horse because horse is going to make sure I don't die. Okay, so we want to let's do that. Actually, yeah, we can probably put that on its own page. Oh, Jesus, wait a second. You're not even up the full size yet. Let's convert you to Lotto 12. You're not going to fit, are you? Oh, you are. Let's reduce it down to 10. There we go. That's a little bit more manageable. A little bit cleaner. A little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. Which brings me to you all. So we'll do civilian ground first. Data, turn off filter. Data, create filter. A to Z. I said A to Z. Da da da. Congratulations. Congratulations. We have achieved liftoff. So 10. Lotto. I had to ask myself, do I really care enough to add in the rest? I'm not thinking I do. I'm fun fact, kids. I'm not exactly jumping at the gun here. It's a row below right there. Late 210. This took a little bit longer than I was planning on it. What else am I looking for? Aircraft. There's actually not much aircraft, so I don't gotta worry about that. Only 3. Doink. 10. Got something in my bloody eye. There we go. Probably, yeah, I'm gonna have to add in the how those work, but I can probably just can I fit you? No, I wouldn't be able to fit you there. Slap an image right there. Slap an image probably somewhere else. All right. What other rules are we? What other rules were we looking for? Large scale combat situations. Do I really care? That's the question. Not really. Not really. We'll add the cybernetics part though. So cybernetics augmentation. A hero. TL7 or above planet. However, start with a cybernetic augmentation that mimics a racial ability of, so what I should say, that mimics a racial ability of -5 points or less. 5 points or less. Cybernetics are often determinants. Boosts them. Relying on expensive custom made augments for comfort, while more brutal civilizations may focus on the practicality of the augment rather than the comfort. Regardless, so 5 points or less, but they reduce your starting attribute affinity by 2. Adopting cybernetics. Or is mechanical in nature, is allowed to upgrade themselves for the appropriate dust cost to the right buyers. The rule of thumb being that one species creation point equals around 100 dust. We can probably do about 150 dust. But each planet and civilization will have their own unique interpretation and taxes to worry about. Yep, that's pretty much how augments work. You're just going to tie it directly to your... Oh, I didn't mean to press that. Tie it to your species creation. Alright. Don't really need to worry about that. Alright. That's it. I could have added more, but I really don't want to, because it's at this point it's a lot of little things, a lot of little rules and little parts that don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. So, what is my thoughts on this? What is my thinking on endless adventures? What's the gist? What's the dealio there, Bob? Oh, Jesus. This is a game that proves to me that good ideas are easy to come by, good executions are not. Am I happy with Endless Adventure? Sort of. Am I happy that it has, a bunch of species creation? Am I happy with the system? Am I happy with all of those parts? Yes. I think it works. I think, the system is functional. I think it has all the right points and all the right things I need in it, and I'm happy with it. I'm have my, seal of approval stamped on there, and everyone is okay with it. Am I happy with it being an endless series game, though? No, I'm not. I'm not happy with it being an endless series game. However, is that my fault? Is it my fault that I'm not happy with it? To a degree. However, Endless Space and Endless Legend and all of those various games do have one thing in common, and that thing in common being that it has a grand, unifying lore. It has this wonderful and massive thing that we can all think about and say, wow, that's impressive, that's big and exciting, and I'm involved, and it's the endless, it's the United Empire. Oh, look, there's look, little lore. It says something about the Cravers. It says something about. I think the biggest issue with adapting Endless Legend and the Endless Universe in general really came down to it has this grand sweeping lore. But grand sweeping lore means nothing. And what do I actually mean by that? What I mean is you can tell me all about the Lumeris history. You can tell me all about the beauty of Arugia and all of these species, and you can tell me how the Vultures are flawless and awesome and do nothing wrong ever, or all of these different things about the endless universe. But it'll never answer the little questions you always need to think of in an RPG that you don't think about in any other sense. What guns do they use? What vehicles do they use? Do, you know, how big is the United Empire? Is there like a solid setting? Because it feels like there is, but there really isn't. Is, are people, are they human or are they Mersey? Are, all the various different factions, do they already kind of know each other or not? If they're not in the game, do they just are species already in present or are they not? Because it's like one of the biggest issues with the Endless Universe in general is that it is a vast and glorious 4X game. But the problem is it's a 4X game. It's not a role-playing game. And the role-playing games that they had, well, there aren't any really, which is got me thinking a little bit when I was going through this. The only ones they have really, there's the roguelike game, the tower defense roguelite, which is kind of weird. But even going through that, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be able to find something here. No, it's pistol, gun, knife, sword, and then it's like meme weapons, which is like, haha, look, it's a pun. Get it? It's a pun. It's punny. Ha ha ha. Everyone laugh. It's funny. You should be laughing now. Ha ha ha. Or it's like, look, it's a game that doesn't exist yet, and it already looks cartoony and a little bit like over the top. It's like, how, what am I going to do with this? This doesn't help me answer these little questions that you are supposedly in. And the nebulous nature of the timeline makes it infinitely harder to kind of get that idea of this is what happened here, this is what happened here, this is what happened here. It's millennia ago and centuries ago and a bunch of years ago. It's always these huge gaps of time where a million and one things can occur that makes it really hard to find all the little nitpicky details you need. And this is why I always say games that give you, actually, franchises in general, that give you either a lot to work with or not a lot to work with work best. And you may be wondering, no, no, Pat, you've been saying this entire time, Endless Legend, and Endless Series isn't giving you a lot. Doesn't that mean it's good? Well, the problem is it gives you enough. It gives you so much stuff, but none of it matters. Where you're working around, okay, there are assassin robots who want to find God. Okay, that's cool. Where do they fit in on things? Don't think about it. Okay, the United Empire is this vast and expansionist empire under a single emperor, but they're also descended from the Mersey. And okay, who are the Mersey? Oh well, they're an ancient culture from the old. That doesn't mean anything then. Oh, the Sheridan used to are a splinter faction of the United Empire, and being like, so is the United Empire the same United Empire from Endless Space 1, or are they a different United Empire, even though they had the same leader? What happened to Horatio? What happened there? And there's obviously like connections to everything, being like, oh wow, look, it's Arugia, it's frozen over. Oh hey, look, it's cool place here, cool place there. It's the Vultures. It's the Vultures again. Did I mention the Vultures? Amplitude fucking loves the Vultures because they're really annoying. Ha ha ha. And the deeper you look into Endless Legend, and I'm gonna keep calling it Endless Legend. That's because that's the game I played the most. The deeper you look into the Endless series, the deeper you realize it's a lot of really shallow stuff that's hard to make a game out of. And because it's a 4X game with this rich lore behind things that isn't really that rich. It has stuff. It has a lot of stuff, but that stuff doesn't really matter. It's like, oh, it's the Lost now. Everything is about the Lost. Being like, oh, okay, so the Endless who happened millennia ago aren't the precursors. There's the precursory precursors. Okay. And then you have like, oh, Issendir is the main protagonist now. Then okay, where the Riftborn come in? Okay, well the Riftborn are just here because reasons. Or it's like, oh, what are the Umbral Choir? What's their thing? Umbral Choir is here because Riftborn are here, I guess. And everyone does little jazz hands and everyone's okay with it. It's like, okay then. Things are placed into that world with the purpose of saying they are things. Look, it's the Cravers, they're cool, but like one comic has a Craver get this tank of a man that is unkillable and is unable to even be dented by bullets. The next one, a dozen Cravers get like mowed down by three guys because they fit what the story needs. It's like, all right, the lack of consistency in the nature of the set, the very anomalous nature of the setting, but with all this lore already kind of baked in, it has this weird sensation of being really restrictive yet incredibly open at the same time. So it was like, I can't really dedicate to any one part, so I'm like, here's a broad scope of everything. And it also didn't help that I'm like, I'm gonna do the endless legend, endless space thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. The endless seeded all these planets. I think it kind of turned out to be more of an endless space game with endless legend stuff on it. But there's only so much I could do. And that's why I kind of got burnt out near the end there. I'm just like, there's so much shit that I could do, but it mostly apply to X or it mostly apply to Y, or it wouldn't really fit anything, but it would kind of fit this. There were a bunch of options, a bunch of ideas, a bunch of concepts that I could do, but it's like it serves only one purpose, and like, oh well, where's all the metals and stuff? Like it's titanium. Titanium fixes everything, I guess. In lore, titanium fixes everything. I guess because that's what the game is. That's what the gameplay is. Dust is a tangible resource, so people just walk around with dust in their pocket buying bread. That sounds kind of silly. It's but it's a lot of this, not a lot of ground, not lore. It's a lot of upper tier. God, how do you even word that? Kind of like ivory tower. That's it. Ivory tower lore. Everyone sits on top of their very nice little ivory tower, and everyone looks down and be like, yes, look at all this grand and wonderful lore that we have. It's so grand and wonderful, but without any of the practicality of it. I'm like, this means nothing. Like, apparently there's mechs in it. There is no mention of mechs anywhere in the lore. But if you go into ground battles, I think with the United Empire later on with armor, they'll end up with giant mechs. And some of them have mechs, but some of them don't, and they never mention it. It's never mentioned that, like, yeah, there's armored power suits around, I guess. That's like, is this like a common thing? Is this like a United Empire only thing? Is this do the Voidyani have mechs? Like, are mechs a big thing now, or are they not? Is it just armor? Like, what is all of these little points? And the thing is, they don't need to think about that. Why would you need to think about that? You do not need to worry about that in their mind. Because in their mind, they are making a 4X game. And that 4X game doesn't need you to know to micromanage every gun every soldier has. Oh, you have a Mark III Zavalis gun. Well, obviously that must be good. Oh, it's like, oh, you have a Craver auto cannon here. I'm like, it doesn't matter to the grand scheme of things. You hit a button and now your troops do 20% more damage, even though you'll never win a ground fight because fuck me. Or it's, hey, you've researched economic, adaptive economic bureaucracies and mining, and it's like, in lore, it's like, well, you've managed to develop a method to, scientifically, manage your business expenditures using the power of your mind. In click button, it's like you get a 15% bonus to your income anytime you have this resource. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I think, like, okay. I think that's kind of like one of the biggest issues. It's just like, you play the game, it says one thing. You read the lore, it says another. And that what both say doesn't really pertain to anything that I was looking for. So that's why this entire game kind of turned out a bit anomalous and a bit weird. And I had to reference a bunch of stuff, and I don't like doing that as much as it made it sound to be. But it's like, what else am I gonna do? Like, Slaves of Chaos was kind of a precursor to this anyway. I want to see if I can make it work more. But overall, I'm happy with it. I think the system works. I think the ideas behind it work. Probably I may use the system again. I may not. I don't know. Kind of a big shrug. Think about it later moment. But with that, we are done with Endless Adventures. We ended off. How many words did we end off with? We ended with about 16 or 13,600 words. Quite a few. 70 pages. Probably I'm gonna go through and add some more pictures and clean some stuff up, like I usually do. But overall, things turned out pretty alright. It can always be better, but everything we do can always be better. So where does that bring us as in the development cycle of things? Well, everyone, let's let out a big old cheer and finally say we're almost done with the list. Almost done. Our next project is going to be, I tentatively called it Road Redemption because I'm like, I'm going to base it off of this game. I don't know yet. I might change that again. I need something. I was like, I'm grasping at the straws with Project Speed. I think I have an idea. I'm going to probably do some wiggly waggly magic and aggressively jazz hands my way to victory on that regard. But I'm suspecting it'll be about 4 to 7. And this Wednesday, we will actually thought today was like Tuesday the entire day, so my time's all fucked up. This Wednesday, we'll probably do the preliminaries of it, trying to get everything set up the way I would like it. Also, we do have a new thing to the list. Danmaku Yugi Flowers Toot Hoot Edition. The people in the JTRPG server said, "Oh, this game is bad, and there's no way you can fix it." And I took that as a personal challenge to fix the game. So that's on the list now. That's going to be a fun world. Help. Oh, I'm getting pinged again. Who's pinging me? Ping a ding ding ding. No, people wanna jack off. Jack box off. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Actually, there we go. We don't need you anymore, actually. I also had an idea. I'm just gonna put this as a note for myself. Uh, for the management RPG and dun 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 dun, the tabletop, the superhero game. I had an idea actually of combining 3 of these games actually, and Flowers for Algernon game, all of these together to make a horrifying abomination game. It was going to be a weird one, but thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Say goodbye to the hologram notepad as he fades off into obscurity as I attempt to find out a new VSona to troll VTuber Twitter with, because I am an agent of chaos. All right, goodbye, everybody.